Hello friends, it is Monday and today you had a little short amount to read. Yesterday was a lot to read and today was a short amount to read because again the Psalms of Ascent are supposed to be short, so they're easy to memorize. And I picked today Psalm 121 because it is on my favorites list. It is one of my favorite Psalms of all time. I have about 10 that I love, and this is one of the ones that I love. I love it. It's simple, it's short, it's to the point. Where does our help come from? It comes from the Lord. And who is the Lord? The Lord is the maker of heaven and earth. And if God can make heaven and earth, then surely God can help us. I mean, simple and to the point. And then after it says who our God is, it goes on to tell us all of these things that God will do to protect us. Now, when I read this psalm, I thought about when I was in Israel myself and when we were in the bus on the way up to Jerusalem for the first time. It was very kind of exciting because you know, you're going to Jerusalem for the first time and you really are kind of out in the desert kind of wilderness, and there are lots of hills and mountains around, and so I imagine that people in ancient times singing this psalm would have kind of looked around at all the different mountains and said, where does I look up at the mountains, where does my help come from? And that they'd look at the different mountains and then they'd look at the hill, the mountain that Jerusalem is on, and say, that's where my help comes from, that's where the temple is, that is where God is, and my help comes from the Lord. And so I can just see the people ascending to Jerusalem singing this psalm and feeling feeling just protection coming from God. And it's very interesting and important, all of the things that the psalm says that God does. If you think about the people of ancient Israel, and we've talked about this a little bit, how they kind of had an issue, just like we do, with worshiping other gods. We don't actually worship gods, we worship things like money, possessions, and power and privilege. They actually worshiped other gods, and they'd kind of falter and they'd go off and they'd worship these other gods. And so a lot of the things that they're saying the Lord God does, they're comparing to other gods, especially when it talks about that the Lord does not slumber, the Lord does not sleep, the Lord will not sleep. The other gods in the pantheon of that time, that would have been gods that the people might have been tempted to worship and have idols to, those gods slept, they ate, they carried on a lot like humans did. But they really didn't care for humans. And so by this psalm tells about our God, about the one and only God, and says, see, this is how the Lord God is different. And this is why you need to throw away those idols, throw away those gods, and worship the one and only God. Because see, these are the things that this God does. This God does not sleep. He does not slumber. This God cares for you, protects you, walks by you, watches over you, and does these things both now and forever. And so this God is not fickle like the other gods. This God is in it with you forever and ever and ever. So this is a powerful God for the people of ancient Israel, because it compared the Lord God to the other gods and said, this God is the one and only God, and this God will protect you and watch over you and is for you. I love the ending of this psalm because it reminds me today that God is with us both now and forever. And that reminds me that my circumstances may change. Like I might be going through some bad things in my life right now, and God is there to protect me and watch over me during that, and to provide shade and comfort during that. And then I might fall into a good period of time, and God is going to be there then as well. Or I might be in a great period of time right now, and God is with me in that great period of time. But if I fall into a bad period in my life, God will be there as well. God is with me now and forever. My circumstances in life may change, the things around me may change, but the one thing that remains constant and the same is my God. God does not change. The way that God feels about me, the way that God protects me, the way that God stands with me, God is the same both now and forever. And that is one of the things that I love about this psalm. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We are getting very close to the end. I sure do hope that you have enjoyed the study. Just a couple more videos to go. We are working on a little something to carry on the study. We're going to give you a couple of weeks off, and then we're going to do something different with the study. You won't probably get an email to remind you, but we're going to have videos and stuff available for you on the website if you want. More details will be coming, but a lot of you have been asking for it, and we've kind of decided that we're going to do it. So, or at least I've decided. So I think Jim and Lloyd are going to be on board for it too. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.